Welcome back everyone, Mike McConville here one more time for StringTech Workstations, Stratford, Ontario, Canada. This guitar is a prime candidate for the GPS unit. The customer brought me this guitar after I did a couple other guitars for him. This one is a bit of a heartbreak for him because he loves the guitar. He's brought it to 5 different shops. Everybody told him it's a complete write-off and the neck cannot be corrected. Even the manufacturer said you have to change the neck. Well, guess what, folks? You don't have to change the neck. After adjusting the neck multiple times and finding all of the high spots, I marked them all, and now this neck is laser straight. Because the frets are so huge on this guitar, this enabled us to take the real estate out of the crown of the fret instead of pulling the frets and then refretting. So all the filing is done. I'm just going to finish it up with a scrub block, and then we'll get on to the rest of the setup. So the most common question that is asked and comes up time and time again across the entire guitar industry is, why doesn't my guitar stay in tune? And the real question to ask is, was your guitar ever in tune to begin with? Here is the second voice in the wilderness question that I answered decades ago with the TechDeck. So I watched this 20-minute video on a CNC designed fret dressing machine. During the course of the video, the guy mentioned several times, well, it's just a tool, like you gotta know how to use it. I have just smiled and shook my head in absolute wonder as the entire guitar industry has gone around in circles for years and years, chasing its tail and spending millions of dollars to develop this CNC machine that nobody seems to know how to use properly, because I correct a lot of stuff that's done on this so-called infallible Plek machine. I watched that video, and in the time you get your first scan, I've already done my first fret dress. I'm on to the next guitar. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this guitar has been at 5 different shops. Even the manufacturer said, no, you just got to order a new neck. It is a tricky neck, and I did have to adjust it a few times, but with the GPS TechDeck, and a 6-inch single cut mill file, I went over, leveled it, redressed, crowned, and polished. The ultimate test is just play every note on the guitar, see how we do. So here we go. I do have to admit, the customer had mentioned that this guitar is very stable. He said he didn't have tuning problems with it. Well, I think what he was referring to was the machining, this German licensed Floyd Rose bridge made by Shaler. The machining is incredible, and yeah, he's right. The notes don't go out of tune when you use the bar. Comes back to center pretty quickly. This is the progression. So I'll let that play and I'll blow over top of that.